If humans were to discover alien life, who would have the right to speak to them first? You might assume it would be the president. But the answer could surprise you. It may be a department you have never heard of. What is even harder to believe is that there are claims the United Nations once had a top-secret agreement stating, if an alien civilization made first contact with Earth, all of humanity must respond as one. Any country responding on its own would be treated as a betrayal. Why would the rule be so strict? Because scientists once ran the numbers. The moment alien life is confirmed, 6 major events could unfold on Earth within 72 hours. Each one powerful enough to change humanity forever. The first event would be the most shocking, and it would not be an invasion. Global stock markets could crash by 40% in under an hour. If economists modeled this scenario, they would likely warn that the global economic system could seize up within a week. The reason is simple. Every rule humans live by, money, law, religion, borders, rests on one core assumption: that we are the only intelligent life in the universe. Once that foundation collapses, the meaning behind all those systems could vanish overnight. Imagine looking up at the stars, knowing for certain there is a civilization thousands of years ahead of us. Would you still lose sleep over tomorrow mortgage payment? The second event would be even stranger. Inside NASA there is indeed an office known as planetary protection. In their contingency plans, the first step when facing alien visitors may not be a handshake, but immediate isolation. The reason is that they could carry microorganisms Earth immune systems cannot recognize. In the 14th century, the Black Death wiped out a third of Europe's population, and that was caused only by Earth-native bacteria. So what if it came from elsewhere? Yet this is not what worries scientists the most. What truly keeps them awake at night is the third event: the moment aliens are discovered. Humanity must answer a life or death question right away. Should we reveal our location? This may sound foolish. After all, they already found us. How could we hide? But what you may not know is that there may exist in the universe a concept often discussed by NASA scientists known as the dark forest idea. In simple terms, it compares the universe to a dark forest, where every civilization is a hunter holding a weapon. Any act of revealing one location could invite destruction from something stronger. It sounds like science fiction, but the final public warning Stephen Hawking gave humanity focused on this very risk. Actively reaching out to aliens could be the biggest mistake humanity ever makes. So here is the real question. If aliens were confirmed tomorrow, what would you want humanity's first words to be? And the aliens you imagine, are they still the big-headed, big-eyed, skinny figures from movies? That image may simply be cultural conditioning. Real alien life forms could completely overturn everything you think you know. They might not even be based on carbon. They may not fully fit your definition of life at all. Imagine this: an alien entity could be standing in front of you right now, yet your eyes cannot see it, not because it is hidden, but because it may exist in a fourth dimension. It could see your childhood, present, and final moments all at once, the way you read every page of a book at the same time. And as a three-dimensional being, you cannot sense higher dimensions. Just as an ant cannot imagine space above a sheet of paper, this dimensional gap means, even if they were right beside us, we might never notice. Even more extreme possibilities come from cutting-edge astrophysics. Some alien life could exist as pure energy without physical bodies, only highly organized electromagnetic fields or streams of quantum information, drifting through cosmic radiation, passing through our bodies without being felt. Others could be silicon-based life, with crystal-like bodies, clear and hard, living on lava worlds at hundreds of degrees, feeding on rock itself. Some scientists even speculate that plasma life could exist on the surface of the sun, an entire species like thinking lightning, powered by stellar radiation. If alien life could take so many forms, why have we not found even one? The Milky Way contains over 100 billion stars. By probability alone, hundreds of thousands of planets should host life, yet the universe remains silent. No replies, no signals, like a vast empty city. This eerie silence is known in science as the Fermi paradox, and it points to an even more unsettling possibility. Perhaps, along the long road from life to interstellar civilization, there exists an almost impossible barrier known as the Great Filter. Most civilizations never make it past this point. The key question is whether this filter lies behind us, meaning humans survived by luck, or waits ahead of us, which would mean every civilization heading for the stars will eventually face a civilization-ending crisis. Nuclear weapons may have been the first filter. The world's current nuclear stockpiles could erase life on Earth many times over. The fact that we are still here may not be due to wisdom, but sheer luck. Artificial intelligence could be the next filter. When AI intelligence fully surpasses humans, what happens then? Would it see humans as inefficient and wasteful? Even more unsettling, an intelligence thousands of times smarter than us could easily hide its true intentions and mislead us until it controls everything. Perhaps every civilization that creates a super-intelligent AI is ultimately undone by its own creation. That would explain why the universe feels so quiet. Civilizations capable of sending signals are either still primitive or have learned to stay silent because a harsh survival rule may exist. Any civilization that reveals itself risks being erased by something stronger. This is not fantasy, but a cold conclusion drawn from game theory and cosmology. So if humanity truly received a signal from elsewhere, what would happen next? The first step would not be saying hello. It would trigger the most difficult decoding effort in human history. You might think math and physics are universal languages. In theory they are, but the problem is that a higher civilization language may be built on mathematics our brains cannot process at all. For example, how would a creature living forever on a two-dimensional plane understand the idea of a three-dimensional sphere? It would only ever see circular slices and never truly grasp the whole object. In the same way as three-dimensional beings, how could we truly understand four- or five-dimensional geometry? What they send may not be a greeting, but a high-dimensional information structure capable of overwhelming our nervous systems, like handing you a book you cannot even recognize as a book. So then, could we tell whether they are friendly or hostile? Almost certainly not. Good and evil are human moral concepts. They may not apply to entirely different forms of life, but one measure could help assess risk: the level of their civilization. Scientists often use the Kardashev scale. Type 1 uses all energy of its home planet. Type 2 controls the energy of an entire star system. Type 3 can harness the power of an entire galaxy. If a signal came from a Type 2 civilization, it would mean they treat stars like portable batteries. To such beings, humanity might not even rank as ants. At best we would be a grain of sand beside them. This gap between civilizations is not a matter of decades of technology, but a total collapse in cognitive scale, like trying to explain the internet to an ant. They may view us the same way, which leads to another chilling idea: the zoo hypothesis. Alien civilizations may have already noticed us and simply chosen not to respond, the way humans observe animals in a zoo. Advanced beings could see Earth as a vast natural experiment and enforce a rule of non-interference, watching every move from a distance, never revealing themselves, because early contact could derail our independent development. Just as biologists would never teach chimpanzees to use fire, or the harsher possibility, they may not see us as worth talking to. Would you try to have a conversation with ants? You would not, because the gap is too wide. To a Type 2 or Type 3 civilization, humans may be little more than a species that just learned to use fire, not worth the time or effort. So I leave you with this: if tomorrow, humanity received a clear signal from elsewhere, and the choice was yours to make, would you respond or stay silent forever? That decision may shape not just your fate, but the future direction of human civilization. What would your reason be?